Hi everyone, my name's Tamara, and I was thinking today about when people say to you glibly, forgive the person that has wronged you. And a lot of times this comes out of religion. And it's not that forgiveness is wrong, it's that there is a time and a place for forgiveness, and forgiveness is by no way the first thing to be aware of. The first thing to be aware of is moving yourself out of the way of anything that is happening to you. If you can't do that because it's behind the scenes and a lot of secrecy about it, and it's only you that knows about it, then make it public in some way. Tell a friend. Tell a community, report the person, make it public, make it transparent, because that's been one of the most dangerous things that has gone on in our society for thousands of years probably, but for hundreds that we know about. And this is primarily through religion itself, where the church members, the authority church members who have been forced to go into celibacy rather than align themselves naturally within themselves to go celibate, which is what can happen for anybody. They have been forced. And then what happens is their sexuality is coming out in a lot of different ways, as we know from the horror stories of the Catholic Church in particular. The way they got away with that is not to have transparency. And that still comes out of churches now, that there are things you should talk about and things you shouldn't talk about. And you should talk about it all. It sometimes means that you have to go public. I know for me, with all the things that have been happening to me, and as I've said many times, at some point I'm going to be able to tell the whole story. But it's been very important sometimes for me to let slip some of the information, because I'm the only one who knows. And I've been in quite dangerous situations along the way. And if nobody knows, sometimes I don't know what the outcome's going to be. I've always believed that I am protected. And also I've been protected so much, been taught to protect so much myself now, which has been an eye-opener for me, that there's so much I can do without calling on help. And I will do a whole video about that, because that is amazing when we start to really realize our own power that we can pull through, which I've been taught to do recently. But this bit about forgiveness, the forgiveness comes obviously, but not at first. That's not the first thing to teach people. Teach them to move out of the way. Teach them to tell someone, because whilst it's kept a secret, I've just had a vision of this woman who came to me as a client quite a long time ago now, and she was a middle-aged married woman, and I could see that she was holding on. She wasn't really telling me why she was there, and it was about her, which she'd come to accept totally. And it only came up because one of the cards that came up was that there were hidden dark secrets that I needed to know. And this was that she could not refuse her husband. If she refused her husband's sexual advancement to her, he just raped her. And he raped her. She said to me that he just raped her all the time. And she didn't even have the pain any longer that was visual on her face. And that came about because she never told anybody. You see, what happens is it doesn't become what it truly is until it's spoken a lot of the time. This is about children as well, who experience incest in their families in many different ways. I've heard everything since my time as a therapist. And if it's never spoken, and this is one of the things, there has to be transparency. There has to be somebody that you tell. And when you speak the words, you bring it into it's total truth, even if it's just one close friend that you swear to secrecy. But what happens is, as you speak it, you reveal it to yourself on a different level. So after all this is cleared up, you're out of the way of the person who's committing crimes against you or is doing awful things to you. Then you can go through your releasing of your pain, releasing of what you hid from your real authentic self. And then, of course, we go into forgiveness. But it's not one of the first things to do. This is what I wanted to really get clear here. That forgiveness comes at the